Mr. President.
Thank you very much, Todd. This is a very humbling time for me. It gets right down to the heart of it, where some of these tender moments in our lives sort of comes to fruition. Clark outlined some of the aspects of what we had to go through at one time, not because we really wanted to, but because there was a need, and that sort of carried it on. But I've got so many people to be thankful for. I wouldn't be here tonight, first of all, if it wasn't for my family. They left me on a long lease. I was able to go out night after night attending meetings and that, and I've missed, I'm sure, many tender moments with my kids as they were growing up and being tucked into bed. But they sacrificed my time, and I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful too to my community. My community rallied around and supported me in what some thought were very unrealistic ideas. But they did turn out to be something that made a difference in the lives of a lot of our people in our community. For that, I'm very grateful. I'm grateful too to the many mentors I've had on this journey. Mentors, like many of you know, Moses Cody. I've had the chance to talk with him personally, and he was a very inspiring man. Other members, Jack McClanahan, for instance, many possibly wouldn't know him, but it come back very vividly to me when we talked about the global cooperative. He had a real vision for global cooperation. And it's just one man full of eagerness to do something for those less fortunate. And there's many others, Alexander Laidlaw, A.B. McDonald, many others were very, very helpful in instilling the cooperative philosophy in me. I also want to thank CCA for even considering me as a worthy one to receive this very distinguished award. I feel very humble about it, and as others have said, I'm sure there's many, many others in the Dominion of Canada that deserves it much more than I. I want to thank all in particular, my own credit union. Yes, before the days it was amalgamated and become United Communities Credit Union, but the present manager, Jim Lynn, has been very kind and supportive, as was my board of directors and the people of the credit union over all those years since 1943. And I'm happy to say my interest didn't falter too much, because since 1943 to this year, I've only missed one annual meeting. So, last but not least, I want to thank the organization that sponsored me, that had faith in me, and believed that I must have had some merits that could justify their appointing me. I want to thank Gailey Food Cooperative. Michael Barrett in particular, he's been very kind. I've known all of them for a long time, but tonight is the first chance I've been able to talk with him, meet him, and sit beside him at the table. So it's very heartwarming. And I wanted to tell you a little thing about Michael maybe possibly doesn't know about. Back in the late 50s, when Gailey was taking its first breath, they took over from an organization which was the Department of United Cooperatives, United Farmers Cooperative Company, called United Dairy and Poultry Cooperative. Ed Brady, an old, good old friend of mine, was the manager at that time. He died shortly thereafter of cancer, was the general manager. But I was there. I was on the board of the Cooperative Union of Ontario, the forerunner of the Ontario Cooperative Association, at that time when Gailey took its first breath. So I was very happy to be a part of it. And I want to tell you too, that today, the milk from our 250 cows that we milk daily is all billed through Gailey Cooperative. So I want to say that Gailey has been an important part of my life. I urge you all to use Gailey products. A couple other things I want to say. I mentioned some of my friends from the cooperators. I wanted to mention them too. And not in any way I'm bragging, but I want to, I guess, enforce the importance of commitment and loyalty that back in, again in 1948, thereabouts, cooperative insurance was just taking hold. In Ontario in particular, all we had was a startup with the Cooperative Fidelity and Guarantee Association. They were making loans or coverage for faithful performance of duties, and I remember that because I was the Treasury Union treasurer, and I had to be insured it for that I was reasonably honest at least. So from there, they started the car insurance. And back in 1948, there was no agents yet in Ontario for the cooperative insurance. So I wrote in to my old friend Barney Shea, who was there at that time, and got the first, possibly one of the first policies in Ontario. And I want to say tonight, and speaking of loyalty, that that policy is still in effect, and I would guess it is possibly one of the longest term continual operating policies in the history of the cooperative insurance. So now, Madam Chairman, I'm grateful that you haven't cut me off. I talked to you a while ago about not doing that, and you did promise, didn't you? That you wouldn't cut me off because we got to know each other again. I want to thank for the special attention I got regarding your 91st birthday. It's great. This has been a wonderful journey. This is great to be here, and my heartfelt gratitude goes to everyone involved, and my love and best wishes goes to everyone here, and God bless you all. Thank you very much.